What's going on, folks? I'm out and about in my day. Actually, I just came from a group activity. I got invited to a little civic meeting, and it was talking to young teens and adolescents about life's choices. And I didn't get to speak at this particular event, but I did go and I listened to some great people speak, and I got to meet a few of the young teen boys, who are getting mentored and stuff, and it was pretty nice. They had some food and stuff, so it was pretty nice. It was a pretty good way to start off, weekend morning. But, since I went to that meeting, and since I learned a few things, and it was really fun interacting with the youth, and getting their understanding of how they view life, and why they make choices that they make, which is why I would like to talk to you folks quickly today, because I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my day. And I do enjoy talking to you people, but sometimes I just got to kick back and just de-stress, because it's been a long week. But let's talk about choices in life. And a lot of you people, when I talk about intelligence, some of you may get offended by me speaking on IQ levels and stuff like that. But the reason why I talk about IQ levels and cognitives and stuff like that, the reason why I speak on these things is because I want you to understand that your framing is based wholly on the strength of your intelligence and the reason why people make certain choices. Now, in this case with these young guys, they their upbringing was compromised a little bit, and they didn't have the best upbringing, and so that helped them be dumber as far as what life could offer them. If they had poor parents, then they're probably going to be a lot like their parents if they're learning from their parents or guardians. But a lot of these life choices will bring you down in your life and put you in situations where you're economically strapped for cash. Your financial situation could become very dire just from life's choices. And one of the number one things that we get ourselves into, and I'll go into a few things, but for young men, one of the things that I noticed, because some of the guys there had children, and they were just young guys. These are teenagers, 17-year-olds and stuff, and they got babies. And some of them are in the child support system, and some of them are really, strapped, for cash and really struggling, trying to make it, right? And they're too young to really make a decent income, so they're working wherever they can, and, they're just trying to keep their head above water. And I feel for them in that regard, because I realized all of this could have been prevented had they made certain choices in life. So let's start off with one of the things that I think that young men do, and men in general do, and it's part of your intelligence. And you know what? Here's the thing: if you don't have the right IQ level, you're not going to grab what I'm saying, and you're going to continue doing what you're doing, because that's just how you're framed up here. You don't have any other thing that you can do, because this is all you know how to do. But you guys are hypersexual. And that is really important to understand, because I see it all the time. I see it in professional circles. I see business folk behave these ways, when they can't control their hormones, like the adolescent boys that I saw this morning. They're in the same boat. But guys in general, you can't control your hormones, and you put yourselves in situations where you're having unprotected sex. You have to sleep with this particular female at all costs. You'll do anything. You'll lie, cheat, steal, say anything, because it's almost like, I liken it to like we're back on Scooby-Doo, when like Scooby would do anything for a Scooby snack. It's like you're willing to do anything for a Scooby snack. And that's how you guys get caught up, because it's a good feeling, it feels good and whatever, and you're not smart. So you really just honestly are such losers in some ways that you just let it go. And then you wind up being a father. You don't protect yourselves. And I really want you guys to understand that as you get older in life, these things will come and haunt you in your later years, because, you know, you're 17 now, you know, typical age of the boys in the group. You're 17, and just imagine 20 years of your life. So you'll be almost 40 years old before you get out of a child support dungeon or something. And if you don't have education, or you don't make enough money, which you probably won't as a young teenager, you're not going to make a lot of money. So you're really setting yourselves up, you know. And you know, when your parents tell you, if you have good parents and they tell you don't chase these girls, it sounds like just typical parent talk, right? You don't want to hear that. And you're skirt chasing, your hormones are raging, and you're just looking to pump something, just anything you can get your hands on. And that's stupid. That is really stupid. At least if you're gonna do that with girls who are raised right and have, like, you know, good, you know, morals and stuff and understanding of things, because, you know, that's insane. You know, you shouldn't even be thinking about doing that type of thing or being a parent until you get a little bit older in your life and more established. And that's a fact. So all of you guys around here who don't do that, that means that you're devoid of those facts. And if you are aware of those facts and you're still doing it, that still goes back into your emotional intelligence and your intellectuals, because you know something is not right and you're doing it anyway. So what does that say about your thought process? But you get into these situations, and then you wind up in jail because you're in and out of court on these matters, or you know, in some cases you just want to do the right thing, but you just don't have the income to do it, or you don't have the means to take care of this child. And that is what you should have been thinking about way before you even decided to get into it. So if you're going to have sex, make sure you have protected sex, and be responsible in the context of having that protected sex. Be responsible, you know. Wear a condom. Be very careful. And then, like I said, make better choices in the partners that you pick, right? Because if you're dating someone and they already have several kids or something like that, then, you know, you're looking to go down some type of road. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm just trying to get you guys to really see that your life choices will doom you. You know, another thing is, you guys get your first car and you go joyriding and shit, and you're just like a fucking child. I mean, you need to grow the fuck up. If you're gonna have a driver's license, you have to be an adult, because you can kill someone. So you're driving all reckless and stuff, and you rack up tickets, and then you eventually lose your license, and then you're in the system trying to get your license back. Some people, I know a person right now who had their license suspended indefinitely. They will not see another driver's license, and they still drive. So think about that. When they get caught and pulled over by the police, they're going to court, they're going to jail, whatever, depending on the circumstance. And then that's like irresponsible. So it's like we thrive in dysfunction. Some people out here in the world, they're just dysfunctional in everything they do. You know, I was looking at these boys and I was thinking to myself, many of these boys could be many things in life. You know, but because of poor parenting from their folks, or their individual life choices coupled with that, this is the outcome. You know, if they could have a do-over, most of them would probably do things over. So that tells you right there that they gravely made a mistake. But I'm not here to just chastise you about, you know, after the fact. This is what you did, and this is your bed. You gotta lay in it, right? But prior to that, catching you beforehand, catching you before you even have a problem in your life, that's where it counts the most. And making you realize, you know, I liken it back to that scene on the Cosby Show, back when Theo had, you know, he had all these plans about what he wanted to do with his life, and his dad, took the Monopoly money from him and started telling him what he owed and this and that. And this is what real life is. So when you're oohing and ahhing and chasing skirts, right? You have to grab that something is wrong, because you're not doing anything constructive with your life, and you're just looking for a piece of tail or something. Like it's ridiculous. And then later on you boo-hoo about how you got snagged chasing after different skirts and stuff like that. Because what are you chasing? You're chasing a feeling. So you're addicted to the feeling of sex, pretty much. How it feels. Which is why I told you have low emotional intelligence, because you're not you're not grounded to your real true feelings. And so therefore you're chasing a stimulated feeling. It's all psychology. Just think about all of these, out of wedlock births that we have and stuff like that. And a lot of them are children having these children. I'm really sad about that, Young people in general. I was talking to the young boys today because I went to a little boys, group or whatever today, but young girls too. The things that you do, when your parents don't want you out past a certain time, but you want to climb out of the window and you want to have boys in the house when your parents aren't there or your parent isn't home or something. And all of those things are coupled with the things that the young guys are doing. And then you both are getting together and creating these circumstances. And it's amazing, because when you get older in your life, you can just look at these things and it's apparent to you. But when you're a kid, you're really literally you're literally like a child in your mind. You're some of you grown men are like children in your minds as well, because you do the same things. Now, if you got burned and you learn from your mistake, then I forgive that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and ride you about that, but I'm just going to say that, if you learn from your mistakes, then I hope that every day forward in your life, you're doing things constructively to benefit your life in the future, and you're putting money away, or you're making career choices, or you're doing whatever, and you're holding off on being a father or a parent until you really know that you're capable of doing that, mentally and physically. And when I say physically, I mean you're physically able to help support that child monetarily, as well as hands-on guidance for that child. Now, if any of you don't agree with what I'm saying, then I really need you to understand that whoever raised you, whoever gave you what you believe about something, those people have an issue. And see, the problem I face is that I look at so many people. There's another so many. You'll probably get that a million times from me. But there are so many people who are just screwed up in different ways, and then they go on and they do the same things. They have children, they give their children these distorted values, and they're not even values, these distorted ways to live by or something. And so they get these, and then they grow up and they have kids and they just pass it on. And then next thing you know, we look up and we have a whole freaking village of idiots and dysfunction and bastard children and just everything. We just have a bunch of everything. And it's not acceptable. It's not normal. There are many healthy families that you guys can look at and see a shining example of what you should be in these situations. If you're dating a girl and you want to see other girls, why in the freak would you even entertain starting a family with that girl when she's just a girl? You met her at the skate park or something. I mean, like, seriously, why would you do that? But see, like I was telling you guys before, if you really have limited intelligence, then you will probably likely make a bad choice on that. And that's just what happens all the time. Now, I can't do anything about a 78 IQ level. I really can't. I mean, that's how you were born genetically, but that's part of what I'm saying. See, you got people who just want that feeling, right? And remember, even fucking goddamn peacocks and birds and different animals, even they select their mate carefully, right? They the peacock has to strut its feathers and do a ritual mating dance, and the best dancer, quote unquote, is the one who gets to mate with the female peacock for offspring. And then why are they doing this? The animals do this because they want the best chance for their offspring to survive, the best genetic genes. If animals are smart enough to think on this level, why aren't humans? And that's what I'm saying right there, you know. You know, if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead and do it. But you know what? One day, whatever safety nets you have in place, they may not exist in the future. And if you don't have those, then it will truly show that you are an idiot for making these decisions. And then millions of people tell you all the time. You look on social media, you got people in your families who continuously tell you to stop doing this stuff. But the feeling is so good, you just want to do that. And then when you look at the person that you're choosing as a partner, looking at them, they may not be the best kept. You know, they may not have the best morals. They may not be hardworking. They just may have a bunch of things, of attributes that are negative, and that just make them losers. And I didn't say they had to stay that way. I just said that if they pick themselves up by the bootstraps, then maybe they would be better, and they would be the right type of person for someone looking for that. You know, but apparently that's not the case. You know, it's too much going on. You know, I love bad behavior. You know, I do also love helping out the youth, and you know, and trying to mentor these guys, and you know, and give them the best shot they have in this world, because the world is cold. And if they don't have a coat, they're gonna freeze out here. It's like, it's that bad, you know. It's that bad. But I'm almost where I need to be, so I want you guys to have a good day. You know, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Like I told you, I'm just kicking back today. And you know, I encourage you to get out here and get involved in your community. If there's a church program or a civic group or something, get involved in that. You don't have to go every day. You may not have the time. You may be busy. I know, hell, I'm busy all the time. But I make a way when I have free time to do these things. So I recommend that you guys look into certain things. So till we talk again, folks, y'all take care.